homies, it's a heck of a time. I'm doing a Broadway thing, I guess. Riley Hopkins, hello, homie. I see you sipping that beverage. I see you with me on this lovely stream tonight. How are you, homie mine?
I am doing just fine. I biked 11 miles to sell all my camera equipment today, and boy, are my arms tired.
Uh-huh. Oh, your arms are
But-
the one for that one, huh? That's interesting. Yeah. It's a weird bike.
I'm doing fine, though. Jay, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Riley. It's lovely to be back. We had such a lovely time with our friends Camilla and Paddington last week, but it is nice to just be back here with you, ready to stare at a more traditional Zelda game, a recent one at that.
And before we get into the party with the Zelda game, not only
Please.
did we have fun with Camilla and Paddington, last week was also the release of our Hello Hyrule episode, where we joined our friends Petra and Chris.
Yeah,
Also,
you're so right. I'm so glad you mentioned it. Yeah.
Talking about Zelda.
We talked about the Tower of Hera from A Link to the Past, a dungeon I love and made you play through for the first time, including that boss fight, which I remember when we did that on this show, you almost got to and through the third dungeon, and I would have gotten to see you at like hour 1 minute 59 get into that fucking room and get knocked down. Like, I can picture it happening, you know? Like, if only that were reality. If only that were reality. But yeah, people should check out Hello Hyrule wherever they listen to podcasts. We shout them out basically every week on this show.
We really do.
And we love them very
when you're
much.
The best Zelda podcast, you're the best Zelda podcast.
It's so true. They're the best Zelda podcast. We could be the best Zelda stream. Who's to say?
I think so. I've never seen someone better.
Yeah, that's true. So Riley, I was in. We'll get started in just a moment, but I want to real quick. I was in the fine city of New York for Labor Day weekend. The really big apple, they call it.
The Windy City.
Yeah, the Windy City, the city of angels. Yeah, you know the one. I stopped at Nintendo World as one does, and I got a couple nice things. Critically, I got this shirt that
I'm ready.
I think is showing up clearly enough. That is That is Wind Waker Link.
Little man
In Central Park. The name of this shirt is Link in Park. That's real. The guy who rang me up like smirked and was like, "You know what the product name of this bad boy is?" And I was like, "No, sir, but I can't. Are you flirting with me? I can't wait to hear this." And he goes, "It's Linkin Park." And then 2 days later, we found out that Linkin Park has a new singer who's a weird Scientologist.
Yeah. 2 days later, we found out Linkin Park has a new singer that can handle singing their backlog and sounds really good. One day after that, we found out that they might be a Scientologist and also embroiled in a lot of scandal. So that was a really fun 12 hours in which Linkin Park was back, and I was really happy about it. But now I'm back in normal.
It's freaking rough out here.
Pause. We have a first-time chatter, Groogly, ready for the highest rules. My first stream, glad to catch Tears of the Kingdom. I only listen to Champs and I'm a big fan in spite of Delmai's getting shafted around too. I agree with you. Delmai's got shafted.
I also agree with you.
Still rides on. Thanks for keeping my long drives entertaining. Groogly, thank you for being a listener, my friend. I'm happy to be there.
I love to see a first-time chatter.
It makes me happy. It does my heart well. Groogly, there was a moment where I was deeply afraid that you were... Today, you can start the game, Jay. You can start going. But today I was in a all-team meeting at work and I had my camera on and they were like, "Oh, the senior VP," I checked his title, was like, "Riley, are you a podcaster? Look at your microphone." And I was like, "What gives you that idea?" And he's like, "You don't go walking around Chicago in a Packers jersey without expecting someone to talk to you about it." I was like, "That's fair." Yeah, I podcast. He's like, "Oh, what do you podcast about?" And I was like, "Insular podcast comedy and collaborative storytelling."
That's a good one sentence. That's a good one fucking sentence. Someone at my job asked if I did a true crime podcast, and this was my first act of sassiness at my new job, which was, I started that on the wrong file. I made a new user on this Switch and everything. And I said, "No, you're going to have to go to one of 700 other podcasts for true crime. I'm so sorry." She laughed. She knew I was right to make gentle fun. You know, I was correct. We all know.
I thought that was funny. Like that was a funny thing that happened at the all team, and then we moved on. And then afterwards, another higher up messaged me and said, Riley, do you stream on Twitch? And I said, I do, yes. With a larger creative collective, and we make things pretty regularly, sometimes with charity streams twice a year. They're like, oh, charity streams like Extra Life? And I was like, okay.
Okay, we're cooking.
We might be able to hang. And I was like, yeah, just like Extra Life. The other ones is whatever other stream it is.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh yeah, I used to have a podcast, but I stopped doing it because it was just too much work. But I was like, okay. Hold on.
Killer.
So I was afraid you were one of not my bosses, but a higher up that is a peer to my boss. And you're not, so you're welcome.
Awesome. Riley, on that note, we're playing a game that your boss might find the most accessible. Tears of the Kingdom. We're back on the Switch. It's the most recent one, so people are guaranteed to know it. Get them on the network. Googly, I agree. So yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. You and I had an interesting dissection of Switch Zelda when we did Breath of the Wild, and I'm kind of excited to be back.
This isn't French.
You're right, it's not, because that's your coward's route, and I refuse to let us go that way together.
This is the calling it X.com version of playing a Zelda game, where you have to look the mid voice acting directly in the eyes and say, I'm okay. We do
have to, though. We do. We're not okay with it. We're talking about it. What are we here to do if not to evaluate thoroughly?
True. I know that I am wrong. I know, not wrong.
Don't
I know
say
that I am kind of unpopular in this defense. But like that, what you just did, where you click A and somebody goes, it makes a vocal noise to let you know what their voice sounds like.
Yeah.
And then you read text. That's a Zelda game.
Right.
That's what it should be.
Yeah, because that allows for characters to sound sillier than they would otherwise sometimes.
Though here it seems almost misty and not concentrated enough to harm us. We'll keep going.
Yeah, so what are your so like you and I agree, Zelda voice actor is not really to our taste. She just didn't need to be British is my main thing about it. Like I just don't know why we had to go that way.
So we need to be ready for anything.
I have more qualms with the voice acting in this than Breath of the Wild. I will talk about when we meet Rauru, but I think Rauru sounds like shit. That's my hot take. We'll talk about him when we get there. I think he sounds so like just annoying. Like I hear him talk. We'll get to it. No such thing as an American princess.
For our audience, can you just put on the French for a moment? Just pause French it up. Just a moment, just a sheer moment.
Okay.
What I do is I switch the language to French because I think it sounds the most. It is funny to me, and also it works as not being English.
Yeah. All right.
And that worked to me.
Okay. Which like to be clear, I'm not shitting on you for doing that. Like I enjoyed when you were first playing it and like streaming it on our Discord. You had it that way, and I enjoyed watching it that way. I thought it was cool. I just think that for the sake of this exercise, we must face the dark truth. What do you got, babe? Talk to me. Okay, we hear the different voice, even though it's not a full lyric. So we should talk about what else is happening here, which is like, it is a cool setup of like, yeah, man, there's catacombs under Hyrule, and I guess we're starting this out just looking in them. Like, I think that's neat.
This is cool. This is frankly a very solid, like you said, you click the A button and turn on the game, and it just started you in. You did not get a menu screen. That bangs. That's very cool.
Yeah.
And like, this is like some shit's happening. Something's going on, and Bobcat Zelda, great. We love it.
Like, Bobcat Zelda's great.
This Link, the blue shirt Link, I'm mid about, but
yeah, I like him with his like saddles and straps. He's a little bit Nomura'd here. Like he's a little bit.
He is a little Nomura'd.
He's like Lulu from Final Fantasy X on like month 2 of understanding what kind of fashion she's into.
Yeah, I like, again, this characterization for Zelda's fun. Archaeologist Zelda, I do like. But that's obviously... Yeah. I am predispositioned to like a Bulma, and they've kind of Bulma'd Zelda here in a very real way.
That's a good take. You're right about that, for sure.
She's not like... It's not the richest woman in the world, but it is like, I'm a smart woman who like does machines sometimes and like has history. Like, she's been looking into like the Guardians and the old one and this, and I'm excited by that take of her.
I also think two other things. One, I want to point out that I think it is cool, like, the way they bring in the Zonai here are cool, because there is, like, a big Zonai labyrinth relic, like, some old temple in Breath of the Wild that has the name Zonai attached to it, and that's the only mention of the Zonai in Breath of the Wild. And I have no idea how much they were intending to do with them at that time, but I do think it is cool that, like, we're kind of dropped into the middle here where we don't see the surface of Hyrule before we come down here. We don't have a talk about what the Zonai are before we're just down here with someone who's clearly been, like, looking into them for a long time. And I think that's
with
neat.
Link in a very good way.
Yeah.
And makes us go like, who the fuck are these?
Yeah. I also think it's to your point about like this Zelda as a researcher and an archaeologist. It's also fun that she is that, because I think that plays off Silent Link really well, where, like, Link is this, you know, Link is the stoic, quiet husband of the, like, chattermouthed scientist. Like, if anything, I wish we got, like, that's why there are so much fan art of the two of them, like, living a normal life together that comes from this game, not Breath, this game. And I think that's, like, really, like, that's, like, once in a while I will stoop so low as to praise a heterosexual romance in something. And I don't feel bad about this one being one of them, because I think that's fun to think about.
I think it's a fair read. I really like the two of them as a pair here, because you can imagine Zelda running to and fro and like Link like, here we go.
Oh, there we go.
This is how I played most of the game, just because I haven't finished the game. So every bit of the game I played was Frenchified.
Des fresques ici?
Ici. Oui, oui, mon ami. Le trafo.
And that's not British. She's not French British.
Les livres d'histoire des archives royales.
And this is clearly a good voice actor. I hope she got plenty of other gigs from this, because she's cool. Bisexual erasure. You're right, Sylvie, because obviously Link has his thing going on with Sidon. We all know that.
Que ce soit justement l'histoire que représentent ces fresques.
We're gonna have a
very
lot.
Cool
Yeah, it is. I like these carvings a lot. We're gonna have a lot to talk about with the ways in which this game is paralleling the game it's a sequel to, and like which ones of them work best. Because like this, you know, there's a version of this you see at the opening of Breath of the Wild where you see the big tapestry with all showing like what happened with the Guardians, right? That's like in a little bit of a different art style, but close enough to this that this art feels like it's from the same like lineage of people, like Hyrulean people, but it doesn't feel like it was made by the same guy.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I think that's neat.
Ils se sont unis aux Iliens qui peuplaient la Terre.
Sounds so much better. Yeah, we're gonna switch back to English after this cutscene, but this is, I'm cementing it in my heart. This was the move.
I know. The Kingdom of Hyrule. That's what you're missing.
I feel bad, like, can it go in Japanese mode? It can. I feel weird. This was my internal struggle. I was like, I don't want them to voice act, so I want something I can tune out. And tuning out the language the game actually is made in felt bad to me. And I was like, but if it's French, it's funny. So
it's also, as English speakers, I think you're onto something there too, because also this is a great art of Ganon. I think Ganondorf looks like good, solid, kind of fine in this. I love this art of him a lot.
Yes.
He's just a looming fucking emperor guy. He's cool.
This is such a cool opening.
I love that at the top of that piece of art you've got the gear that's totally meant to be the time gear gate from Skyward Sword, which is super cool.
Tu te rends compte? C'est une découverte capitale.
I love, like, everyone's quote talk about how great that is, where Link just silently takes the torch.
Yeah.
C'est Proa qui me l'a confectionné.
Ada Patch puts it in Animal Crossing Animalese. Again, you're so right. That's it. Is Animalese, Banjo-Kazooie voice. Those are the kind of things that I think would be great.
Yeah.
Il en manque une partie.
1,000,000%. I was gonna say that about the language thing. I think another benefit you get with the French is like, as English speakers, it's a little easier to follow a foreign language that is like French or Spanish, even if we don't speak it, because it's just closer structurally to what we're used to. And I think there's something there that I enjoy too.
All right, switch it back.
Yeah, we must return to the hell we've made for ourselves.
We have visited what I have seen and the world that I want for us.
I get it.
Now we're gonna make her Canadian.
Yeah.
Link, what's all that about?
It's been I'm trying to think of a Letterkenny reference, but it's been too long since I've watched Letterkenny.
I'm gonna add that onto a list of things to acquire.
Oh, you should. But yeah, I also like how this music chat, let me know if the music sounds good, by the way. I use this Elgato little enough that I always worry I'm missing something, but I can hear it, so I assume you can too. I like how this music gradually builds as we go deeper in.
Yes. This is the structure of this opening is very cool.
Yeah.
In the way that I'm like, wow, if y'all made like if they made a more not level based, but like a more like authored experience for a wild game, I think they could kind of bring it home. I think it would hit like I want it to.
Yeah, something that is a little more story based, something a little more like something that's a little more Twilight Princess, honestly,
Yes.
in terms of like being a little railroady, but it's all cool railroad, so you like it. And like this is an awesome, like look at this. This fucking rips.
Yeah.
I'm taking a screenshot because this is just metal as hell.
As someone made verbal Hylian linguistics, like how people learn Klingon and Elvish, I don't think there's been enough actual like I can tell you the text. There's Hylian text.
So
like I have the how to define the different versions of ancient Hylian in that big gold book I have. All right, here we go.
Oh, let's go. Remember when everyone thought this was gonna be Twilight shit?
What is that?
Yeah.
I feel bad. I'm not like dissing on the voice actress here either, because she's
she's fine.
bad. There's nothing wrong with her. I'm just like, I think that Zelda and Link, I feel like none of these characters should have a word past their lips that's actually verbal.
And my slightly different take is that I think it's just I think it's direction and dialogue, or maybe direction and localization. I just wish the dialogue they were given and the direction they were given was like better, but it feels, I don't know. It all feels very clean. This fucking mummy Ganon coming to life, like, this is cool as shit. I love it.
Because he's got the Redad vibe about it.
Yeah, he's got those
ask questions about the Redad.
The demon eyes, the gloom. There go all our hearts. I love that.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I love it in Metroid when Thomas loses the powers.
Yeah. Cool. And goodbye, Master Sword.
The sword breaking's already great. The sword still cutting his face is even cooler.
Absolutely.
The blade that shatters so easily against my power cannot save you from me.
Fascinating that they picked Matt Mercer. There's a trillion other voice actors.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of. It feels like they are. It feels like someone in Nintendo doesn't want to make anything other than very safe choices with dialogue, and I think that goes through to the voice actors they choose to.
No, our names.
I love this. He just fucking pushes it up. Castle go up. Niels makes a good point. It's cool that in this game, when Link is disabled by that attack, he has to relearn all his skills, because that's how a disabling injury kind of works in real life.
I do like that. Like, it's cool. I like. There's a lot of this setup that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, here's the whole game. Like that opening. Bang. This. Bang.
Absolutely.
We are very much looking here.
I think this is cool. I think it's cool how he just goes down. Like, he's not like... He just kind of descends and vanishes, and you don't see him for a long time other than in cutscenes.
Link with the busted ass arm is awesome. Game sounds drowning me out a spidge. Very
Yep,
careful saying that. I'm gonna be louder.
No, I can. It's loud on my end too. I'm gonna fix that on my end a little. There, we're down to 50. Gamers, let me know if that makes a good difference for you. Ghost arm is cool. The arm is great.
Ghost arm's cool.
Giving Link in a special arm that his powers are tied to is like undeniably pretty sick.
There is the part of me that is like, and this is the like, well, I like it this way ass voice, which brings nothing to the table. Where I'm like, that scene would work really cool in a Toon Link style.
Yeah, well, I mean, any of it would work fine in a Toon Link style. I like this game's art style. I don't know.
You know, I want everything to be a bit more emotive in the way that like Skyward or Toon is.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. I do think or like even parts of Twilight Princess, like that game's dark, but like we saw Midna when we were in that, and that is a like incredibly emotive character. And yeah, no, I would.
She comes out of there like the mask. Like,
yeah,
she's Beetlejuicing.
She is Beetlejuice. She's totally Beetlejuicing.
This is cool.
This is cool. I think the like Zonai rune aesthetic is like fine. It doesn't do as much for me as the Sheikah stuff in Breath of the Wild or like a lot of the other like Zelda races with very distinct aesthetics. It's kind of just fine to me.
Yeah. I think I'd be more interested in it if they had stuck with the Sheikah and like the Zonai are who really made the Sheikah. They connected those more instead of giving us, in the same way that every Pokemon introduces a new evolution, every Zelda introduces a new progenitor race.
Yeah. That's we do got to talk about that because this is the most progenitor race that any of them have ever been. Yeah. But like also in older games, like the Hylia were kind of that in the really old games, and like you know, fucking the Sky people in Skyward Sword are that. You could argue that like the Twilight aren't that, but they're kind of that. The Okoko are kind of that. The bird fuckers. Here's this fucking guy. I hate.
I've never heard his English actor.
Your wounds were severe. I am relieved to see you escape death.
Again, if this was just text on the screen, utterly silent, that bangs. Like, that's Kingdom Hearts, that's Wind Waker, like, that's the cool thing.
Yeah, or even if they just, like, did more effects on it, I think. I don't know, he just sounds like some dude. And that's the problem with a lot of the voices. Like, I think the guy who voices Daruk, the Goron, does a good, like, yeah, that's what a Goron should sound like. The Rito all just sound like people. This guy just sounds like a person. Zelda sounds like a person but British, so it's even worse.
And he's like the only British person, right?
I think so. The king, I think, is in the stuff we see the king
you have to
in
be
Breath.
British if you're royalty.
Yeah, that's how it works. Decayed Master Sword is cool. I saw someone calling this Link the hero of decay, and I think that kicks ass.
That's cool. He needs a doorman from Shadow of Colossus voice. Yeah, that's good shit.
Yeah, that's so real. Oh, Shadow of the Colossus.
My favorite games, I unfortunately look at them and go like, wow, I wish somebody on this team knew how to direct a voice actor.
That's really how I feel too. Well, and like the reality, right, is that like they probably don't, because there's so few really like traditionally voiced Nintendo first party games. That, like, it's one thing when you direct how Professor E. Gadd should fucking sound, but it's another to direct full voice lines, and, like, I bet you're right, they just, like, don't really know what to do with that.
It's not even just Nintendo, because I also feel this way about fucking Kingdom Hearts. Because I was like, wow, people at Square Enix don't know how to voice direct, and then fucking Neo Tooie has the most natural-sounding dialogue I've ever heard.
Yeah. Square Enix does it right. They know what they're doing, with most things, at least.
Outside of Kingdom Hearts, where everyone finishes their line entirely, and then somebody from a different room reads another line.
Yeah. It's very funny because, you know, like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom were worked on in part by people from Monolith Soft, the Xenoblade people, and you can see that all over Xenoblade 3 because by 3 they've come back from working on Breath of the Wild. But those folks need to go back and teach the Zelda team how to direct voice actors to be like cheesy in a charming way. Because I'm not gonna act like all the voice acting in Xenoblade is like incredibly like naturalistic, but it's like incredibly character filled, and like everyone is distinct. Like I could go off about that. There's a million voice lines in those games that people just reference casually, and you will never say that for this.
I know one day I'm gonna turn on a Zelda game and Link's gonna talk, and I'm gonna get mad and be stupidly mad about it for no goddamn
No,
reason.
they can't. I would also get mad at that. Oh, I remembered, because on my save file in this, I also haven't beat this game. On my save file in this, we don't get the rest of the outfit in here, do we? That's fine.
Nope.
On my save file in this, I'm currently in the middle of the Gerudo dungeon, and Rija, whatever that Riju, yeah, she's British, which doesn't make fun. Like,
She's British?
it feels weird. Yeah, it feels. Which I don't think the Gerudo from Breath of the Wild was. I might be wrong, but like, I guess all royalty is British. It doesn't feel right that those two races should have the same accent, Hylians and Gerudo.
And it's not even the two races. It's just the princess and the king, and everyone else is like normal. This
is a nice sequence. I like Fallen. I like looking around. I love
Dungeon Meshi too.
The casual. Shut the fuck up. It's Fallon, you Epano or Karina bitch.
Fallon, yes, she is Fallon, and she keeps Fallon.
Fallon in my skin. I like seeing the plot important dragon and not calling too much attention to it. It's just there. It's just in the shot.
Here, where is the like? Because one thing this game does is it brings in a saxophone in a way that has never been in a Zelda music. The Tears theme has sax, which is so fascinating to bring in a whole new instrument. And I listened to a whole strong songs about the music of Tears of the Kingdom, which is really, really great.
Mm-hmm.
Who listens to emo, pop punk, and Dungeon Meshi? Great question. The answer is Itsumi, and I think Chillchuck has listened to like Blink 182 and doesn't like to talk about it.
No, I think Chillchunk has like an extensive library of like kind of punk new metal shit that he just doesn't let anyone know about.
In the way that every person's dad does also like Shinedown.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Did I tell you my dad saw Coheed and Cambria live in concert a few weeks ago?
Fascinating oomph you put on that name, but that is crazy.
What was the fascinating oomph I put on that name?
Coheed and Cambria.
Is it Coheed and Cambria? Yeah, Coheed and Cambria.
Coheed and Cambria. Like,
that's what I fucking said. That's the same thing twice.
No, there's a difference, but it's a difference that makes me an asshole.
Huh.
Like,
no, it doesn't.
In the right.
I guess. I've never thought about this one before in my life.
Neither did I until you said it.
Weird.
This shit. I like the idea of making a weapon. I need whoever... No, I can't complain about this.
Go for it. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. No.
It's tired to complain about, I don't like the weapons melt. And it's like, yes, I don't like the weapons melt. I don't like that they disappear. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I love a named weapon, and I loved a named thing. And like the fact that everything, like this Link has to scavenge everything together. Like, you know what? Yeah, Hero of Decay kind of fits, right?
Yeah.
He is scavenging everything together, like out of like fucking boxes in a cave.
Yeah.
And that's true. But like, I want for a named weapon. I want for like, I have my razor blade, I have my great sword, I have my big Goron sword. These things are cool and they shouldn't break. Like,
that's because the thing is, I'm like in the middle on that where the breaking like made me think more about my weapons and try different weapons in a way that I think was like good for me as a player. But when it is like, oh, I found Mipha's fucking trident, I found Daruk's hammer in the first game, those shouldn't break. I'm sorry, those survived 100 years. Those should work the same way that the Master Sword does. I'm totally with you on like the character important ones or the like location important ones at the very least.
Well, because what this game ends up doing is every time I have 4 different dragon swords and I
Yeah.
have a million of them. And then whenever one breaks and I start to run out of my stock that I then store in my home, so I just have walls and walls of fire, ice, and lightning and light fucking swords. Then I go, okay, cool, time to go on a collection run again. I just collect 1 trillion of them. And it's like, is this fun? Is this intended? Is this what we wanted? Like,
Yeah, I think the game just broke me into its way of thinking. Hey, look, a Temple of Time in an unusual place, for like the 6th fucking time in the series. I love it. I always love it.
Pause.
What do you got? What do you got?
Traditional Hylian architecture.
This is traditional Hylian architecture?
Look at that and think of the Tower of Hera and how the Tower of Hera is built.
What Riley is referencing for listeners is on the Tower of Hera episode of Hello Hyrule. We talked about how the guidebook refers to that dungeon as being built in the traditional Hylian architectural style, and we were like, "What the fuck does that mean?" But you're not like. I'm not gonna say this like hard looks like it, but you're right enough that I like where you're going, and I think there's I like it. That's really cool.
It just popped in my head because it's like the most recent theorizing I've been doing, and so I'm gonna go post that in our good friends Discord now.
Please do. But like what you're talking about, it's funny because I like soft agree about the weapon degrading stuff, but I'm not as bothered by it. What I am bothered by in this game actually is the weapon fusion stuff, because it just comes to feel obligatory really fast.
Yes. It is saying if you do not do this, then you are not getting the game.
Yeah, and I don't know. I like, you and I have both spent plenty of time on the Moonshot Minecraft server. There are people on that server who do amazing things. There are fucking wizards. I don't know if anyone's noticed this, but you can get pretty creative with that dang video game right there. But like, I'm not that creative. I am not a redstone fucker. There's the most complicated thing I will do is, my favorite thing in Minecraft is to make like networks of train tracks connecting people's like bases. This game is very based around getting creative and building everything you could ever think to build. And that's cool. That's not really what I would want the core of a Zelda game's thesis of like puzzle design to be based around. It's not the most exciting. I said
this before and I still mean it. This game's a great Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts sequel.
Oh yeah. You are not the first I've heard say that. Absolutely.
I love that game, and so I was happy to see it happen again. Like, but it does not. I don't know. And I think looking at it, you're right. Stylistically, this is pretty.
It's very nice. I like this island a lot.
Yeah, I like this Link.
I
am being a hard ass. Like, I am being a hard ass, and like that might not be fair.
I still don't think you are like waging any horribly unfair criticisms. I think there's stuff. I know you want this Hyrule to feel more like ones you remember from the past, and that I do think. I will gently pat your hand and tell you, okay, Grandpa, a little bit, but it is with love and it is with understanding. Because, like, I do get it. Like, I don't know. We've talked about it before, but, like, this is a Hyrule that doesn't. And we'll talk about it if we get to the surface in the course of this stream, which I think we probably will. But, like, I think this game does Hyrule as a living place better. Like, Breath of the Wild Hyrule, you know, everyone's still in, oh, fuck, it is actively the apocalypse mode. In a way, they're not in this, and like they do show the ways the world has changed, and that's very cool. I don't know. It's back and forth.
Thinking about this Hyrule, and I'm currently playing Star Wars Outlaws, and that's going through a place that is familiar to me that has changed often. Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've seen Tatooine a trillion times, but there are things in this one that make it familiar to me. But every single time you approach a Tatooine, somebody will innovate on it or change it or put their own stank on it.
Sure.
And I think that's good.
Well,
There's like...
do Do they really? I feel like Tatooine's Tatooine in like any Star. Maybe I
Here's the
haven't
thing,
absorbed.
I can tell you this.
Yeah.
I can tell you about corners in Mos Eisley that I recognize from this game and only one other Star Wars game.
That's right.
And like that's me being a freak.
No, I like that though. You were talking about that in a call we were in last night, and I do think that is really cool.
And it's like we are also we share that kind of freak nature in Zelda, whereas I don't share it with you in Star Wars.
Not quite.
And I feel like I would appreciate more familiarity with a place that I have grown, that I have been around for so long. I know every Zelda's not the same Zelda, obviously. Like,
Yeah.
I don't believe in the timeline. I don't believe in any of this shit.
Well, they recently canonized, as a side note, that this Hyrule is not in the same timeline as any of the other Hyrules. They like made that explicit.
Oh,
really
word?
recently.
Did they say that?
Like
are
yesterday.
Is Jake Mason right? Are we on a fourth timeline?
Like yesterday or so, yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, and like, cause like we talk about in a upcoming episode of a podcast, every Hyrule is a collection of ideas, and its innate dreamlike state is fun, and like putting their own stank on it, innovating on it each time is fun, and it's something I wouldn't change for the world. But I do want there to be more anchor points.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I think ultimately the problem, right, is what you just said, which is the like, it's not the same Hyrule every time, right? Like you can write different, you know, bits of Mos Eisley all you want, but like the Cantina's still gonna be there. It's still the same planet that like you know when in like the game you're playing now. You know when, in relation to that game, Luke and Han Solo meet for the first time there. Like, it's the same place. Whereas, like, there is so much less common ground with, like, this Hyrule versus Ocarina Hyrule versus whatever other Hyrule you want to name. That, like, it's not quite the same equivalency, I don't think. And I get that it makes you want the same thing, but it's like... Because I'm trying to think of something that is like this, where there's multiple versions of the same setting, but that do feel like they carry the torch across those different iterations of the same setting in that way. And I don't know if I've got one off the dome.
Yeah. Like that, I mean, Final Fantasy, but those don't even have similar areas.
Those are different locations too. Those are Gaunt, have a good COVID and flu shot. Sufficient power.
I did not intend to startle you. It was I that spoke to you earlier. That arm originally belonged to me.
I just don't think he should sound like a guy. I think he should sound like an aminal. Like I think
we should get you French Rauru. We should get you French Rauru.
No, we can't. No, we can only dip in once.
Because I feel like King of Red Lions. Like King of Red Lions is like, I think a deep, almost Santa ass voice. You know what I mean?
In any case, that arm should allow you to open this door. It seems to have lost the power to do so.
I also am like, I would like to see less new species again, and just more bring these guys back.
I agree. I was gonna bring that up too, because like, I think the Zonai are like fine. I don't find them that memorable, to be perfectly honest. But then there's like, and you know they probably won't show up after this in the same way the Twilight don't show up anymore, in the same way that like the Minish haven't shown up again. The Koroks and the fucking Rito did, but those are kind of the like, and the Gerudo, I guess. Like, I want more shit to keep returning, I guess. But
use the things that you already have on your palette.
Yeah.
In a way that is like, oh, I just had an analogy in my brain and now it's gone.
Well, and it's like you should add new stuff to the palette, right? Like so much of, I do like that these games like Rito look really distinctly different from the Wind Waker ones. I like that like the Gorons are kind of the same, but the Gorons have looked different. Like the Twilight Princess Gorons look a little different than some Gorons, like they've done that.
They keep a theme. The different Gorons keep a shtick about them that I really enjoy.
And they do a good job with I forgot I didn't have a glider. Whoops.
Whereas like
yeah.
I don't know, like every progenitor race feels like, and now we all have to care about Dynamaxing. Like, now we all have to care about Terra
Oh
types.
fuck! You came for me where I lived with that one.
And it's like,
oh my
cool.
god!
I was fine with Mega Evolutions. I thought that was kind of fun. But we're gonna do a new one of these every time, and you're telling me that nothing's ever going to change.
I'm like
we're just
actively
gonna keep
pissed how right you are. Oh my god.
It's like what? Sure, yeah. Pendulum summoning. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. Zixel. I don't care
Yeah.
anymore.
Fuck it. Yeah. I guess. Oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah.
It's like, you have it. You are good designers. The world is good, and
Yeah.
you have a good palette.
So-
Just show me that you care about the palette, which is why I'm excited about Echoes of Wisdom. Because Echoes of Wisdom says, I care about the groundwork that I've laid here, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're seeing both Zora, we're seeing the Deku scrubs. We're seeing Deku scrubs.
We're seeing Deku scrubs. Like, that's amazing. We're seeing Gerudo on a top-down Zelda for the first time.
There's so much that really, really, I'm like, cool. Yes, you're painting with what you have. We are working in the space that we love. Like, this is great.
I think the thing is partly that, like, when you have a new Zelda race, you want it to be one that like fits a niche that was not covered by previous ones. Side note, I really like how it looks like you're gonna be able to fluidly go in there. Like, this is a cool door. This is a very cool type of door. I like these dragons a lot. We'll talk about the shrines just being here again, but I think they look incredibly cool.
All the old shrines are gone.
Yeah.
The new shrines, though, are here.
But like, for the most part, Zelda race, like the good new Zelda races they bring in are ones that feel like they couldn't have existed before. Like, you know, the deep cut I like to bring up is the Anuki, the little Eskimo guys who are only in the DS games. There wasn't like a polar biome Zelda race before, other than like the Yetis in Twilight Princess. So they made one. Like, when it's filling a niche, like, they made up the Minish because they needed something that made sense for that. And, like, even the Kokiri wouldn't have quite made sense in the same way. These guys, like, the Zonai almost fit that bill, but we've had so many things, like, thematically similar that, to me, it just doesn't quite hit the same way, I guess.
Yeah. Why did you need a new guy?
Yeah.
We have guys at home.
It would have been so cool if, in this timeline, this is what the Twilight were. Like, in this world, the Twilight were a progenitor race. Like, that would have been awesome.
Genuinely, that would be fucking crazy. Where they're talking about their past, and like maybe some of the like stuff that happens with Zelda in this game, like you're also like realizing, oh shit, these are the same steps that like really went to the Twilight based on what we know. Oh my god, my god. Like, that's really cool. And again, is this why I like fan fiction? Because it's iterating on a thing that you already know and has already done the groundwork to get you there? Yeah.
Yes.
Like, that's true. But
yeah. I think this system works. I want to be clear. The fact that they made this system work the way it does, the whole like crafting system, is like insane. Like, my friend, I was living with a friend who's a game developer at the time. Hello Cruel World on VR, out now on Steam. Please buy it. They worked very hard on it for a long time. And they were like playing this, and they were like, I have no idea how Nintendo fucking made like half of the tools in this game function.
It's very cool. Like, I do like these tools.
Yeah.
Do I think they make me feel like I'm playing a Zelda game? No. But like, do I like them? Yes.
They do make me feel like I'm playing a Breath of the Wild style Zelda game, like with more open problem solving. And I don't know. I'll advocate that. I think there's a place for that, but also, like, you know, if every Zelda game only gives you so many tools to like work with that line of thinking, that line of more open problem solving, you're gonna have your favorites and you're gonna have ones you don't like so much. And like, if you're just not a crafting headed person, the crafting isn't going to do as much for you. Like, that's all there is to it, you know?
Well, and I am a crafting person because I made like the fucking speeder bike, you know what I mean?
Sure,
I built the things that are like, oh, this is really fun to build. Like, here's a common thing. But like, yeah, I'm just not feeling it. But I can't deny how the technical impressiveness that this is.
Sure.
It's very cool and it's very fun.
And it's fine if it starts and ends there for you. I'm like, I do enjoy myself when I'm playing this game, but I've been gradually playing it since like January, and I'll probably still be gradually playing it next January, you know? And I don't know, there's more reasons why that I'll like save for like as we see them. I don't know if we'll get to the underground over the course of this stream, just because this opening area is so long. The underground, so cool to go down into. I wish there was like, I wish it was a little denser with shit to do. It feels kind of empty.
I want information. You could put Twilight shit in there. You can tell me more about what the fuck the bargainers are. Like,
yeah. You've got those big Subrosian looking statues. Shout out Seraph, I see you. Like, that stuff is really cool, and it all feels like I really do respect that they're keeping, like, the mystery at arm's length, because Zelda has always done that. That isn't, like, always Zelda thing, and there is stuff in the underground that, like, people do and will continue to theorize about. But, yeah, I don't know, whether it's more lore or just more something. Like, I wish I wasn't having to just deal with the Yiga all the fucking time down there. I don't give a shit about the Yiga. I don't give a shit about fucking Master Koga.
Yeah, Boobus and Beppo or whatever the fuck they are down there. Like,
yeah.
I like that I like whenever there is a like branch of a thing we know that is different, because it helps kind of go like, yes, no culture is a monolith.
Yeah.
The Yiga are kind of boring in that.
I don't even like they were interesting and cool in Breath of the Wild, where Breath of the Wild was a game about Sheikah stuff, right? Here it's just like, yeah, I guess these guys, like, it's like figuring out what Team Rocket is doing by the time like the, you know, Diamond and Pearl Pokemon anime is coming around.
It's like, wow, you all haven't moved on.
Yeah. But no, and Grugly correctly points out that like underground arenas with the boss battles and stuff down there are really cool. I think those are cool. This is a good moment to remind everyone that this is a Zelda game Riley and I have not, like, neither Riley or I have finished. So like we could be shitheads beyond our wildest dreams. I know spoilers about some stuff in this game that I haven't experienced firsthand that does fucking rule and is incredibly dope. And like I don't want to discount it for any of that.
When I played this game, they have like the same kind of thing where there's memories scattered everywhere.
Yeah.
And the first memory I found was the last memory.
Which is insane, because that is not like super easy to find or anything.
So like everything else, I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like it just didn't like, it felt like at that point I was like, game, like you're done. Because also I had reached the Master Sword before finding that memory.
God, that's so fucking funny.
Because I had just like made my way up. I was in the Zora temple before doing any of the Zora things, so I couldn't complete the temple, but I was in it walking around.
Didn't you do the same thing for the Goron temple too?
The fucking wind one, the Rito one.
Oh, the Rito one. That's right.
Climbed up all the way, and then it was like, you have to go back.
That's what it was.
You can't do anything right now.
Yeah, which like which is so funny, because that is an interesting thing where this game, like, because I did that stuff in the Intended Order, and I loved ascending that place. Like that was like an incredible memory of this game to me. But like, I do think because they add a little more story and a little more like step-by-step shit you have to do in an order to like do stuff in this game, it does come up against the open worldness as they defined it in Breath of the Wild in ways that they still have to stick to here.
And it would be fine with it not being open world. I just make a more linear game then.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's kind of worse than a like, oh, we shouldn't go that way. To get all the way somewhere and then be like, I can't open any of these doors. I guess I'm here too early.
Yep.
Because like I beat the Goron temple and I beat the Gerudo temple, and I did not beat the Rito or the Zora temple.
Yeah.
But I have been to both the Rito and Zora temples. And I don't know. It's even like an open world game can work with a linear story. I've played plenty that do. I think that like, I think this game it wants to have too many cakes and eat them.
A little bit, yeah. The first one has the right number of cakes and could use one or two more even, probably, or you feel like it could, but this one is, like, adding a lot. To talk about what we're looking at in front of us real quick, I do like that the birds up here look a bit like Loftwings. Like, if, like, Loftwings continued to evolve for a while.
I didn't see them.
They ran away.
I apologize.
No, you're good. They ran away. But I like that. I was gonna ask you, how do you feel about like talking about, because like I was saying, like this game obviously has a million parallels to Breath of the Wild. I think some of them work better than others. How do you feel about like the constructs and like the Zonai stuff in general? Because like not about the Zonai, the guys, because we've talked about them, but like you know, the Sheikah stuff and the Guardians in Breath of the Wild are, I think, an incredible mark on the world. Like, every time you see a Guardian, it is genuinely fucking terrifying.
It feels like an Atlantean to me. Like, it feels like this is something that came so far before and is so much, like, more complicated than any of us know. Like, it feels very impressive. I love the Sheikah stuff in Breath of the Wild for as much as I'm mixed on that game. Like, for the Zonai, and it's like, and also there's another guy. And like,
there's so much also there's another guy in this game. And like, again, I think some of it's fine, but like some of it's like, man, you really just did go all in on somehow there's another guy.
Yeah, somehow a progenitor race has appeared.
I guess our 4 main story locations are where the 4 other races in this Hyrule are again. Okay, fine.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a well-marked hater.
And that's fine. I am encouraging you to be a hater because your opinions are valid. I don't agree with all of them, but I want to hear them.
It's also like, when you think about it, it's like, wow, Riley, you didn't play the game in the order they asked you to, and you had a bad time. How fascinating.
No, it's an open world game. It's an open world game.
It is, but they do say you should go to the Rito first.
Yeah, and they kind of say that about the Zora in Breath of the Wild. You ain't got to do that.
Yeah, and like for Star Wars Outlaws, they're like, you should go pick up this guy first, and I went, no. Like, whenever a game that is open world tells me to go do something, I kind of tell it to go fuck itself and do whatever I want.
Which is correct. You should do, like, you're right to do that.
Yeah, but then I feel like I lose credibility to complain.
Nah, it's an open world game. It's got either, and I say this as someone who was an open world hater for a long time. Like, I was famously like a Bethesda. I would shit on Bethesda as the day is long back in the day. But like, if a game's
history might have proved you right with that.
Yeah, eventually we got there, huh? I can't remember if I'm supposed to go up here yet or if I need to find something to make me warm first.
And here's the other thing: is I don't like cooking in these games, so I like made it through this entire area without cooking. So it's like, cool. I made this more difficult on me for no reason.
I love cooking. I think it's fun. Yeah, that is one that's a little bit on you, for sure.
Because like, also, like we were talking about with Skyward Sword, played that whole game without a shield because shields had durability, and I said, I don't like that.
Based.
And that made that game even more fun.
Do you guys have a fire? I need a fucking fire to cook these peppers.
You'll freeze to death, and then what you needed to do was light a torch down at the bottom of that hill and carry it up with you.
Oh, I knew there was one here somewhere.
You have a stick, that'll do the same thing. Did either of you see that one new Zelda timeline people were talking about? So, Sylvie, we were talking about this earlier, that apparently this and Wild are both their own timelines, separate from everything else, which is fascinating.
Which is, so my theory on that, like, is I believe that they mean that, but I also, I feel like, I don't know, looking at everything we know about Echoes of Wisdom feels very much to me like they're doing a, like, yeah, dude, let me fucking pick up the raft. I'll kill you. Yeah, okay, great. Shut the fuck up. Let me use a boat. I'll end your life. You're made of rocks. I used to spawn bombs out of an iPad. I will blow you up.
I had games on my phone.
I do miss the oh, fuck off. I'll end your life.
Don't pick it up. Don't do it. You're not allowed yet. You're not allowed to pick it up.
No, you are. It just has to be one of these ones for some reason. I do kind of miss being able to spawn infinite bombs. There were so many enemies in Breath of the Wild that I would just take down by I would find those little skull forts full of moblins, and I would climb up and throw bomb after bomb down into the eyeballs. Those bombs didn't do a ton of damage. I didn't care. It was a war of attrition, baby.
And I don't know. I also didn't use bombs in that way in Breath of the Wild. I have run up against these games in like in a way that a kid runs up against Meatloaf. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I am starting to think it sounds a little bit like an intentional choice.
Yep. It is like.
Am I going the wrong way?
My own petulance. You can climb.
Yeah, we can climb that. I could.
My own petulance. I approach open world games, and also just like I am playing a game I wish I liked, which is again how I approach Pokemon too.
Sure.
Like where I'm like, I wish I liked this in a real way.
That's how I approached most open world
viewers.
games.
I got expensive viewers here.
Yeah. Fuck off, Jay Hofstadter. There's only one J here, and you're looking at him.
Oh no, German boy. There is spam in the chat.
Chat spamming. This chat is full of chat spamming.
Submit report and block this user and fucking click, and then isn't there a ban button in here somewhere? Unblock report.
While we're saying things we don't like that much about this very impressive game, I'll say I don't like this starting area nearly as much as the Breath of the Wild one.
No, yeah, you're just kind of.
It's a little more of a maze. Like, you have to, like, keep looking at the map over and over a lot more so than, I appreciate the one moment where you accidentally gave that fucker mod privileges. That's very funny.
That's a you and me thing.
Yeah.
The chat didn't see that.
No, it's funny. It's funny, though. The chat gets to know because it's funny. We're here to entertain, Riley.
You're so right, bestie.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, I get why it's like this, because they kind of want you to like gently guide you from place to place in terms of like what you can see from where, and I'm willing to put up with that. But it's just like the Great Plateau was so nice to get through, and this place is just a pain in the ass. Also, something that was pointed out to me by just like podcasts I was listening to when this came out is the fact that there's like other basic control stuff that in Breath of the Wild you learned very early, whether from the first few shrines or other stuff, that here you don't learn until like you can learn it from optional shrines on the surface that you can totally just miss.
Say
like,
more.
Like specifically stuff about like throwing things and like how menus work. I forget the full list, but there's like a few things like that are straight up just you were taught this in Breath of the Wild, and which, if you're just expected to have played that game already and to know this, I think that's okay. But like, I don't know, it's just a little weird to me. I am not going in the right direction at fucking all. And I don't know. I don't want to get lost in a tutorial area. That sucks. Great, I died in a tutorial area. That sucks. It's fine.
Yeah.
Someone pointed out in the chat earlier that like the Sky Islands are also a thing where it's like this one's really cool and there's some other really cool sky stuff in this game, but boy, there's also like a lot of like empty space in the sky. Like you kind of would have thought there would be more.
It almost feels like an afterthought.
A little bit, yeah.
And like the depths and the Sky Islands are like cool. We should have married these two ideas. Are there trees behind you, Jay?
Got it. Are there trees behind me? There's the sky behind me. There is a tree.
No, there.
Me.
Let's make a bridge. What are we doing here?
Well, I was gonna say I could just climb a sliver of rock right there.
You don't have the stamina for that. You know that.
Yeah, you're probably. Can I don't know if I can chop down a tree though. I don't have any way to chop it down.
Try it with the stick. Just see what happens.
The stick is not gonna chop that down. I will try though, just for you.
Thank you, baby.
Wrigley, thank you for subscribing with Prime.
Never mind. You're right. Okay. There must be a cave or something somewhere.
There's. I think I can climb that. I think there's a ledge halfway up it. I can make that. No problem.
Yeah. Yep. Me not getting ads for my messages, for my message being talked
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, no, but like I do think like oh shit, there's like sky labyrinths over the labyrinths from Breath of the Wild. Cool as hell. The big
cool.
orb puzzle. Like, there's a lot of stuff in the sky that's cool. There's also a lot of just space up there.
Yep. If it was more like a fucking skyloft and it felt like there was a civilization, I know that like this was just ripped up and went upwards or whatever.
Well,
But,
no,
like,
it's
I don't-
not, though, because isn't the whole deal that most of the sky stuff was actually further up in the atmosphere and is falling down? Because, like, I thought the whole deal was Hyrule Castle goes up, but the rest of it is stuff that's, like, falling from, like, the upper atmosphere.
Interesting. Maybe? That's crazy.
Which
And
is
if that's
like,
the case,
yeah.
then I'm like, there's so much more that... Yeah, because I guess we didn't see any of this shit. We played Legend of, like, the original one, so
Yeah,
it
yeah.
must have come down a layer. It's just like... Then they should feel connected.
Well, and I think parts of them do. Like, I know you haven't done the Rito dungeon, but when you actually go in and do it, the whole, the, like, ship that you go up to has, like, a Rito fairy tale, like, folk tale ascribed to it. That, like, the part of the reason that, like, that kid Rito becomes the sage for that dungeon is that, like, he's a kid who, like, has heard that story because it's a story kids get told at, like, bedtime, basically. And that's very cool. I like the traveling with the sages part in this, where, like, the whole time I was going up, like, up that whole ascent into the Stormhead, I was, like, thinking about, like, I bet this Rito kid is asking Link a bunch of really funny, like, kid questions about being the hero of Hyrule, you know? Like, I wonder what conversations they're having right now. That stuff's rad.
I can agree with that.
Hi,
This
Rauru.
is such a long tutorial.
I don't know that it's... Yeah, because, like, I would have to go back and look. I don't know how much of the Breath of the Wild stream we spent doing the Great Plateau. I know you were, like, kind of speed running it, but also it's not hard to speed run. This is definitely a little longer. It takes longer to get from place to place. They have more things to teach you, because we're going to learn about, like, Zonite and stuff, too. That's the other thing. Is like one of the things they add is, like, the whole Zoanite economy to, like, add more batteries to your like, ability to power Zonite devices. Which is, like, you have to take them from the underground up here. You have to go to a very specific place and, like, smelt them 10 at a time. It takes a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, like... Yeah. This, like, the debug ability that this is like, cool. Like,
This is
it's
my
very-
favorite power in this game. I love this shit. I think this is the coolest thing in this game. Straight up, no doubt.
It kind of feels a little disconnected from the other ones to me. Like, Ultra Hand and fucking Fuse both feel of akin to each other, whereas the Sen's like, and here's the other one.
Well, this one and the time one, right? Because, like, the time one is,
Yeah.
like, I forget it's even there sometimes until I'm forced to use it. Yeah, I agree with that. I like it, though. I don't know. This is my favorite one.
It's good. It's a good ability. It's just, like,
we
different than the
had-
others in a way that is noticeable to me.
We had a good time with A Link Between Worlds a few weeks ago, and I love the turn into a painting power in that. I think like Zelda abilities that, like, affect mobility are some of my favorites. Just in general, I think those are, like, a lot of the most interesting. Even if it's just, like, the Pegasus boots and the rock feather, you know, like, oh shit, Link can jump now. How does that change things? Oh shit, Link can go up through things. How does that change, like, how I think about my ability to go through a space, and how the game devs have to think about, like, what spaces I can go through. Like, those sky labyrinths have to be ascend proofed, which is why they all have no fucking floor. And that's cool. I really like that. I would love a Zelda game where, like, all of the abilities are, like, more mobility focused than anything. I just think that would be very neat.
Yep. Yeah, I feel you.
I don't know what that looks like. I don't have, like, a list for you of what those would be, but I just think, like, they're so good, and, like, this game is included in this, of making Zelda games that have, like, specific kind of theses about, like, what core mechanics you're going to be interacting with the world in. Like, even like Skyward Sword, it's motion control, baby. That's the thing. You know, the DS games, it's the touchscreen stuff.
Yeah.
These, it's this. Like, I would love it to all be mobility based. I think that would be very cool.
These games truly do push the boundaries of what a Zelda game is in a very real way. And like we talked about with the Wild game, it is my worry that it has pushed it and then parked it. But like Echoes of Wisdom is kind of it Echoes of Wisdom hasn't like assuaged my fear because it kind of looks like a 2D Wild game to me.
Yeah.
I mean that with love.
The first previews have started to come out about that. Was it Patrick Klepek? I forget who it was. Someone wrote a really nice thing about like playing with his kids and like him.
Patrick Klepek.
Yeah, that was, and like how his two kids like had their own things they really liked about it, and he had things like what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing from that game make me think that they are still like. I don't think they've parked it yet, and I agree with you with those concerns for sure. But like, cause like even Ocarina to Wind Waker to Twilight Princess, those games feel very different, but I don't know if they're like they're all cooking with the same basic sauce recipe in a lot of ways, as different as they are in a lot of ways. There's, they've got that home cooked, we've been cooking this for 100 years in this family recipe at the heart of it all. And then they change it with this. And I think they're just honing down a new recipe. They've opened a new restaurant and they're still figuring out the menu,
Yeah, and you're right.
But like to your point, you invoked, so we're doing Dynamax now, huh? Like the Switch has turned out to be like puberty for multiple big Nintendo franchises, and like Pokemon is obviously one. But I do think as much as I think people are right to call Breath of the Wild a 10 out of 10 game, as much as I think this game, while more uneven, is also really cool. This is definitely also a puberty era because it is completely like adding a million new rules and a million things you never would have thought about before, and that is a messy process.
And yeah, I guess my fear is that this Zelda game was really cool in high school and then kind of just isn't cool anymore. You know what I mean? Like
that this one is, or that the old batch is.
That this one, this is hitting puberty and going like, wow, like I am cool right now, and then fading into a like, okay, cool. What was the rest of your life? Is it just trying to remember how cool you were in high school now?
Yeah. Side note, I do really like these Koroks. They're not hugely different from the Wind Waker ones, but like they translate that style just into this style really well, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Oops. I keep forgetting I don't have the fucking glider.
Yep. Turn around really quickly and go back up that hill up to the tree so you can get the armor that makes it so you don't have to eat.
Did I not get
every
that?
30 seconds. No, you did not. Chest to your left.
Oh, you're right. I like these chests a lot with the teeth they've got. They look like faces. Like the Zonai aesthetic is cool. I prefer the like Breath of the Wild, like Sheikah tech stuff, but like it's cool. My point earlier with that was gonna be like the constructs are just so whatever. That maybe is what it is with the Zonai to me. It's not just that like, because the Zonai are like kind of cool. Like they're like weird giant 8-foot tall rabbit goat people. There's something going on there. But like, it's the fact that the first one we meet has a voice that sounds like a normal guy, plus the fact that the constructs aren't really any, like they're fine looking robots, but they're kind of just some robots. They're just not that interesting to me. I think that's what it is. Like these guys are very cool in terms of art design, but I wish they like made me go, oh shit, in the way the Guardians make me go, oh shit.
Yeah, if they had a Guardianness to be like, if there was more in this game that connected the Sheikah tech we saw as being new utilizations of Zonai tech.
Exactly, yeah.
I think I would be over the moon. You know what I mean?
Make them be a little more connected, yeah.
That's connecting two ideas, and Nintendo would explode if they had to do that. In the same way that two episodes of Power Rangers can't be connected to each other.
Yeah, a little bit.
Anyway, here they did. They created Gambling.
It's true. You're so right. I put these fuckers in there, right? That's right.
Yep. You do what I do, which is you have killed a trillion things, and you every once in a while do a circle and load up 87,000 things into each of these.
Yeah.
So you have 1 million boosters, 1 million seats, and 1 million fucking No, that's it. That's all you
Control
need.
the control
rock.
thing, the steerer.
Yep.
Yeah, and then anything else you get, you never use.
Yep. It's useless. Do you want it to attack? No. Why would that be useful to me?
I can ascend through this, right? I think so.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something where like I am a little more with you on the bits of cynicism with this game than with Breath of the Wild, because like, I mean, you said it earlier. This game is trying a lot of new things on top of all the Breath of the Wild things, and I think that's just, I don't know. It gets a little low, top heavy. Like, it's cool, you know. I think a lot of it is incredibly cool, but it does start to feel like, okay, I'd kind of like to see you make another new Hyrule now.
Yep.
Which we're getting very soon. We're gonna have to add another game to that wheel. We'll talk about it when we get to the wheel later.
That will be so fun.
It'll be really funny.
Excited for that.
I can never fucking remember where the third one of these goddamn temples is to save my life.
Take a pause. Let's look
Yeah.
around. Let's look around. You've been
We
to that
did
one
that
there.
one. We did that one. This one's here. I'm gonna look at this.
Is it to your right?
It's gotta be over here, right? Somewhere.
Yeah, because you haven't done that big fucking thing
We
yet.
haven't been to that
Is
lake.
it in the
yeah.
ground? Is it in like the like?
It's not like subterranean, I don't think. But also, it does feel like they want me to go this way. But to what ultimate end? Is there anything like off the edge
Because they want you to
over
get on the
here?
glider and ride the glider.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that. You're right. I forgot that was there immediately. Yeah, once they get a design idea, they consider what's possible, and then they're like, "Great, we've done it." You're right about that. Which is kind of like for better and for worse, I guess. All right. Hello, glider. Oh wait.
Also,
there's
the
more you
fact
down
that
there.
these dissolve is deeply frustrating to me as well.
Yeah, I get that.
Because I'm just like, cool. I've played your game, old man. Let me just fly around. You're gonna want to put it further back, babe. You're gonna want to put it further back.
You're right. I constantly forget that the track actually is a track for some reason. It just like doesn't, my brain doesn't work that way. All right, you just sit comfortable here for a second, because I want to do something actually before we go down. Yeah, whatever. There's fucking 4 more. I don't need all of you. Go where you might. I want to go back up here real quick and just see if I can spot from up there the third shrine.
Is it that fucking thing flashing on your minimap, that yellow circle?
No, that's the Temple of Time.
Okay.
Because they want to make you find these by yourself, like you do in Breath of the Wild.
You don't find them by yourself. He points you at each of them.
Does he? I thought you had to find them by yourself.
He
Oh.
opens up. You go to the tower, and he goes, "Look around. Do you see this, 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 and this?"
Well, womp womp. Huh? They should have maybe thought about keeping that one that way. Oh, and there's all these fucking clouds in my way. I don't think we're spotting anything from up here. I think it does have to be over here, though.
I think it's in that bottom left area.
I feel like you're right.
Zoom in a little bit. Hold on. Can you zoom in on one of the shrines we know where it is?
Sure. Yeah. Let me zoom in on this one.
It's like an Elden Ring map where you can see it. No.
No, they just give you the icon. That would be nice.
What the fuck are we doing? We're adults here. Tears of the Kingdom
go for it.
tutorial, third shrine. Always a good sign.
Yeah.
Not to be a fucking streamer about it and be like, I don't know where it is. Wah.
All right, Aaron Hansen, calm down.
Yeah. This game sucks.
I didn't read the tutorial. I haven't read anything for 2 hours. Why isn't it telling me how to play?
Okay, I got it. Are you ready?
Yep.
Map up. All right, go to the lake on the left.
Yep. I remember this lake. Like
South.
I remember having been. Is it up here?
Yeah. Ding.
Yeah. Okay.
Place it, babe.
There we go.
Yep. The second
Locally,
one.
dokily. That's the second one it's supposed to be?
Yeah, you went to the third first.
See, I have played the opening of this game a couple times because I was like playing on someone else's Switch at first.
Put the 2 fans on the back end of this so we can get further with it.
Yeah, you're right.
Place it in the middle track. You're going to want to bank to your left.
Yep. Let's see. Is it like, I'm trying to remember, is it like on the wing, not on the edges of the wings, on the tail?
Put it on the tail, on the left side of the tail.
Isn't that gonna blow it back too far? You only fit one back there.
Well, you stand further up. No, you're not putting it dead on. You're putting it on the side of the tail.
Yeah, I got you. Like that,
So
like
3
that.
o'clock. Oh, no. Pop it off there. You want 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock on the fan to be attached to the left and right side of the tail. So bring it down now.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying.
And then further back.
Come on, buddy. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it
right
is
there.
such an angle that you must fight with it a little bit to get it to do what you want.
Bada
There we
bing,
go.
bada boom.
Nice.
Put that bad boy on the track. Middle center.
I love how weird and goopy the Zonai shit looks. Like it does. It is fun
Well,
how
the
like
Zonai
slightly
shit when you
gross
do
it
it
works.
looks. None of the actual Zonai shit looks like that.
Shit. No, come back, come back, come back, come back. I need to get out of the thing. What? Get up, you freak.
Okay, you're gonna want to stand further forward
Yep.
and then hit
Buddy.
it. Hit the juice. You want to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's stuck. We can't do it here. Like, oh no, there we go. Nice.
Hold on. Yep.
It's going a little slow, but it's fine.
Hold on, just for a moment,
Yep.
because.
And hard
Back up,
left.
back up.
Yep.
Okay. You got it, baby.
Bum,
You got it.
Oh, too far left.
Pull up, pull up, pull
Yep.
up. Pull her up, pull her up.
I do feel like I'm inventing fire when I do this in a very cool way.
It is very fun.
Oh,
Right.
fuck. We're
Hang
fucked.
right, hang
We're
right.
fucked. We're fucked. We're
No,
fucked.
you
We're
gotta-
fucked.
you gotta- I'm realizing how much Kerbal Space Program has helped prepare me for this. Because I would fly those things for hours
Uh-huh.
without having the thing. And I'm realizing that's just because I think of flight.
We're doing it this way instead. Oh, wait. No, I can't freaking teleport to it. That sucks. Okay.
You got it. You want to, when you start losing speed, you need to dive. And that
Yeah.
dive is going to get you enough speed to then follow up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to bob on the wind like a little paper airplane.
I think I'm just gonna aim for like the shrine that we know connects to that area and do it that way.
That's fine too. That's fine too.
I'm gonna try it that way and just see how that works out for us. Cause I know I've done this without adding jets or anything. Like I know I've done this part without doing that. Yeah, cause there you go. We just go up.
Just coast a little left. Just a
Yep,
little left.
yep. I'm coasting left. God, I'm also just not good at steering this thing in general.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. A little
Yep,
further forward.
Yep.
Pull up.
And up. Yep, I'm trying.
You got it. You got it, babe. You got it.
Oh,
Don't panic.
come
don't panic.
on!
Keep
Go
yourself
up
centered.
above the tree! Oh, fuck! God damn it! That's a fucking Yamcha ass death pose right there.
Die shittily. Fucking fall.
Dies shittily indeed. All right. Third time's the charm. We got this. We so got this. We are so back. Ugh.
I wish I could take the controller from you.
I know, and I apologize, Riley. I'm sorry that I never got my pilot's license. Kerbal Space Program, you're trained well in that game. That's wonderful. I have tried that game, and it's the things it wanted me to think about frightened me, and I stopped.
You've just never heard the word Delta V.
That's true. I say.
Bank to the left, baby. Take advantage of that speed. Take
Yep.
advantage of that speed.
Yeah, I keep banking too fast is what the problem is, I feel like.
You bank too late, and then you have to hard turn, and that's what's getting you. Pull up,
Yeah.
try to land up there.
I'm just
on that circular.
nah, I'm just landing down here and trucking it from here. I would like to finish this part of the game within our allotted homie time. Goodbye.
Perfect.
That's my stop. Slashed by the fucking wing while we're at it. The glider is very cool. I think it is real. Like as much as I talk about I am not the right kind of tech head for the amount of building stuff that this game makes me want to do, like it is incredible the tools they give all the people who are that kind of tech head, and I do like.
Did
I'm
you
not-
build the speeder bike?
Yeah, I built a version of it. Like it's so cool that you can just like that thing does trivialize a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's how I got to the Master Sword before I was supposed to.
Yeah, see, I'm not very excited by the idea of here's one thing you can build to like get through 90% of the shit in the whole game. Like, I tend to avoid that because I like being challenged with building different stuff, but also if I was like speedrunning the fucking thing, like, it's amazing how quickly people cracked that. It's super cool.
Yeah. Well, it's not like I wanted to speedrun it. It's that truly I was like traversal's too slow for me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get on a horse because there's things up and below me that I need to worry about more than a fucking horse.
I
You're gonna need to jump on that. You're gonna need to jump on that. Bring that thing back.
I know.
Bring it
No,
back.
I'm good. We're good. We're fine. It's Riley, that was not a sharp decline. That was like a 1% grade decline where I set that.
I'm just seeing the difference between our building styles.
Motherfucker sets a glass 6 inches from the edge of the table and is like, I don't know, that could get pushed off. That could fall off. See, I like Rauru when he's like going around gazing kind of solemnly at things, like being like, yeah, here's what Zonai. I wish there was like a Zonai village up here, you know? I wish there was a whole like abandoned
full of ghosts,
town.
dude.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Full of other Zonai ghosts. That would be really cool.
Yep. That would.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would require them to do something interesting.
Oh, come on. Okay,
That's
old
me
man.
being a pain in the ass.
Now you're
Boo.
being a grumpy Gus.
I didn't like it.
You've traversed the boundary to goofy Gustum.
Yeah, Grant goofs them.
Yeah, that's the one.
You know what it is. Let's make a fucking bridge.
Yeah, let's make a fine. I guess I'll make a bridge if I have to. I guess I'll stick these logs together since they're here.
Go fuck yourself.
Hey, you started that one. if I welcome you to be salty about this game 99% of the time, that means that the 1% I get to beat the shit out of you as much as I want to. I get to leave you. I get to break your fucking legs if I so please. I think we need this, I forget. And I do like stuff like, hey, here's just giant levitating fucking blocks you'll find sometimes. Like, there are cool things that are like, okay, the existence of this thing makes me start to think about ways in which I can use it to solve puzzles, and I think that's smart. There's all these robots who are like, look, oh yeah, here's the birds I was talking about. They look like they have kind of the loft wing beaks. They're distinct, but you can kind of get the vibe.
Yeah, they're more fucking herony than spoonbill, but they are.
Yeah.
I can see what you're talking about.
They're like half heron, half emu, kind of. And he'll just teach you if you want how to shoot him and kill him. I like the music in this place. I like the occasional tolling of the bell at the Temple of Time. It's a neat location.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to play nice.
No. The Temple of Time is cool. Like, I will give that to you. Like, I like it. I like the inverted Tower of Hera that it is. I like some of this extra shit here. I'm just thinking about it. I'm just trying to think about I'm trying to separate out me being a contrarian piece of shit with my actual thoughts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do, and I'm genuinely interested in where we come to with that, because I know you feel this way, and I think your feelings are valid, but there is a line, and you do skirt it sometimes, and it's interesting to hear you wrestle with that. Also, Moonshot's own Paddington, thank you for subscribing to Moonshot for 6 months.
Helloington Paddington. One of the things I did in this game, because I don't like cooking, is when I got to the Goron area, I would stand in the volcano and then pull a million amiibos to just cook a ton of food.
Awesome.
So just raw cooked steak, raw cooked fish, like cooked berries, cooked fish, cooked steak, just a absolute mountain of it, while not having to ever actually make a full dish. He's on that fucking men's rights diet.
This is what Ben Shapiro eats every day.
It's that shit that gives you scurvy.
God. I keep forgetting I don't have the glider. Every single time I jump off of something, I think I'm going to be able to tap X again to glide. The glider, which I will call one of the best tools they've given us in a Zelda game in, like, the last decade. I love the glider. You fucker. Alright, fine. I'll come to you. I'll come to you. You want to dance? You want to dance? We'll have a little dance. I don't have the weapon fusion thing, which would be awesome here, but I want to see what's in that chest. I do kind of wish they gave you a couple better weapons before you got the item fusion power, but it's fine. It's the tutorial area. Whatever. I should not die. We don't have the shirt part of it yet, but I actually really like the starting Link outfit in this game.
I do like all the outfits. I like the different outfits that you get. I like wearing different clothes. I like that they have different abilities. That's fun. I do enjoy that.
The like skydiving outfit you get from the Rito, and I don't know if you went to the Rito village, you might not have seen this, but it's very like kind of steampunk skydiver almost. You have like the flying squirrel kind of thing going on.
It's like a fetish suit, yeah.
A little bit, yeah. It's a little gimpish.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I wore the pants for that for a while, and then like another top that did something else for me. I can't remember.
The outfits are cool in general. I think these games have done a great job with the outfits. Yeah, but yeah, no, just we'll get it. I wanna like finish the tutorial area here. I don't think we'll do more than that. Probably, but by the time we finish
I'd like to at least fall to the ground.
I think that's a good spot to end, probably. Yeah. Oh, here's one of these fuckers.
I need to reach my friend.
These guys are like half the time I have a really fun time figuring it out, and half the time it's just work that I don't want to do when I'm already on my way somewhere. But I like him.
That fucker with the sign. Whenever she's standing around, I'm just like, I don't care.
The guy with the sign? Oh, I love the guy with the sign. Oh, I love him. I'm always happy to see that idiot.
Just like, dog. What are we doing here?
I like that guy. I don't know though. Okay, that I'll contest you on a little bit, because I think that guy and his obsession with the guy who Hudson or whatever, that feels very classic Zelda weird dudes in Hyrule characterization. I think that's the kind of guy you're looking for. It's just like the fact that they put him behind a little mini game thing you have to do maybe is the problem.
I think I was already a sourpuss about like trying to like, all right, fine, I'll figure out your stupid fucking physics engine.
Sure, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because that's the stuff where, like, I think he's great. I think that that fucking Pelican who runs the newspaper is great. I think it's very fun that Link can, like, help the local newspaper in this game. There's a lot of stuff like that where I do feel like... Because I do feel like they are trying to give this Hyrule a version of the level of characterization that, like, classic Hyrules have. I'm not gonna say it hits in the same way, but like, I think they make an honest-to-goodness effort.
Use him as a counterbalance. Put him on the other side.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna put him on this side and put me on the other side.
Oh no, I meant on like the right side of the hook.
No, I get you, but I'm gonna try it this way first, and if it crashes and burns, then I'll listen to you.
I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna do, Jay? Is I'm gonna stop trying to backseat you.
No, you're good. I mean, listen. How much backseating did I do in like any 2D Zelda that I knew and you didn't? It's also not hard for this thing to say balance. These hooks are good shit. These are the fucking Hyrule command strips. Actually, no. Fucking 3M would love the Zonai gunk.
They'd love that, man.
You'd get tape made out of that shit. You get everything made out of that shit. Yay! You made it.
I also don't want to collect 1,000 or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Will I ever? Never will I ever collect 1,000 of anything. I respect those with the strength within them, and that is not me. I do not have that strength within me. I ain't got that particular dog in me. I'm sorry. What the dog doing? Not this. Yes.
Going home.
Yes. Yes, we've done it. Here we go. Here we go. Clunk.
On to the next, on to the next one, on to the next one.
One
I've got a
more.
million ways.
One more.
Choose wisely.
Riley, tell me something you like about this game.
What I like about this game, I like jumping on the dragons. I like riding the dragons in and out of the holes in the ground.
That shit's awesome. Cool. That shit is that's like metal album cover shit.
I love finding the most expensive parts of the dragon and what I want to break to get the best weapons there. I liked.
I think how do you feel about the like Zelda memory stuff in this versus the Link memory stuff in that game and how you get it? I really like the big lines on the ground, the big shapes that you have to
shapes
find.
on the ground are very cool. I love the Dragon Tears like setup of it. I think that's great. I don't think they work as well as separate stories that like the original ones did. The original ones, like, even if you got them all out of order, I still feel like they hit. If you get the last one first in this one, then you're kind of like, okay.
Well, because if you get the last one in Breath of the Wild first, what you get is just like the world state of Breath of the Wild. Like you get Zelda, which like I watched those on YouTube recently, and those are like actually better than I think they get credit for. Like, as much as we clown on Zelda's voice direction, I actually think like those scenes in Breath of the Wild actually make Zelda a pretty damn interesting iteration of Zelda. Like, they allow her to be a version of Zelda who's like failed at something. I said it in our interstitial chat. I think Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom Zelda would actually be fascinating on the Infinity Train because she has like a lot of like, I have failed my kingdom, and even though we've won now, I've still failed my kingdom, and I just have to live with that kind of baggage. Like, I think her and Alphonse Elric would have a lot to talk about.
Absolutely.
You know, like she's cool, and I like that they do the thing of like giving her own story that's separate from Link's, but is still happening. But it does feel a little bit. It does feel a little bit like, well, we want her to be a damsel in distress, but not a damsel in distress, and how do we like?
But if we make her a damsel in distress, people will yell at us.
Yeah. How do we do they? I swear I didn't shit my pants shuffle over to hitting both of those goalposts at once. You know what I mean? Like, it's just...
some of the flashback stuff does rule. It's like, oh, is that? My God, is that Fee's music?
That's
like,
awesome.
That's cool.
That's a really cool thing.
Like, the big thing in this game, fucking rules.
Yeah.
Slams is awesome, but there's so much about it that I can see the linear version of this game, and it's amazing.
Yeah,
and it's just killer.
I can see the version of this game that has better voice acting and doesn't care quite so much about me building stuff, and I'm in the same place. And I like this game. I'm going to go back and finish this game. Like, I do periodically go back and play it. I don't feel like I'm in a rush to do it, but I'm going to, like, eventually finish it. I don't think it'll ever be my favorite Zelda, but I'm definitely a little higher on it than you are. But, like, we both agree this game is, I think, messier than Breath of the Wild. Like certain parts of it or not, is such a, like, clean, complete, does what it says on the tin package in a lot of ways.
The beginning.
Yeah. And that's awesome. This is like, it's reaching in more directions. Like, it is taking a very fine-tuned formula and doing something that's reaching in more directions. And like, the directions that work really work. And if some of those hit hard enough for you that it all works, great. But like, I don't know. It's a game that I feel like people are a lot more. I have so many fucking sticks. That people are just a lot more divisive on, which is fine. I love fusing shit to arrows in this game. Like, fusing bombs to arrows.
Pulling out the arrow, connecting a dragon tooth to it, and then the dragon scale to it, and using that as a weapon. Banger. That's great. That's awesome.
Actually, you know what one of my favorite things in this game is that they thought of more uses for monster parts in terms of that. Like, you can get monster parts that will, like, okay, great, I beat a stone talus, now I have its fucking heart, and I can put it on something. and it's a huge, super powerful club that I can kill a boss with. That's incredible. Like, that's really cool. And that's like, I played a lot of Monster Hunter for a while. That hits in the Monster Hunter way to me.
I just wish that more of the designs were more than I glued a stone to a sword. Like, I wish more of the designs integrated them in,
Well,
and I recognize the mountain of work to then try to do.
Are you saying like you want the end result to look less like just thing A on thing B?
Yeah, I would like. Oh, I have my sword now, but it has like a huge stone buster on the other side of it, or something. You know what I mean? I want it to be stylized.
I think that wouldn't go with the aesthetic they want this thing to have, because like the way it all is so like hashtag caveman shit in a way that I enjoy, but also like, again, as a recovering Monster Hunter person, like, it is so cool to get like, oh fuck, me and the boys just fought the Magnamalo 5 fucking times. We got a bunch of its goddamn livers, and now we can make this insane, like, oh, what are you making with your parts? Oh, I'm making this incredible switchblade. What are you making? I'm making this giant gauntlet that shoots a bug that's made of it out. Like, it felt a lot more like, you know, there were tech trees in that. There were crafting trees. You don't have crafting trees in this. You have glue. And that's cool. Yep. But now that we've had this, like, you're really getting me thinking about that, because I hadn't really thought about this in this way. Now I'm thinking, what if we had this, but with, like, crafting trees? Which would turn some people off, I think. But boy, it would get me excited. Boy, it would get me pumped.
Yep, yeah, not to be, like, the most boring person in the world saying, like, what if my idea was unique? Is, like, the fucking, like, non-destructible weapons, and they are all integrated when you combine them. Cool, we're cooking. We are cooking like crazy now.
It's not like the game doesn't already have crafting. Like, you know, it would like, we're already in a survival game with crafting and cooking and like our outfits and shit. Like, it's all in line.
It's just like Gliok armor, awesome. That's so
cool. I do think it's cool. The other example I was gonna give with the monster parts thing though that I love is eyeballs. Like, the fact that you have monster eyeballs that will make your shots become homing attacks with your bow and arrows. That's so fucking tight. Cool. Like, I
very cool.
I use the bow and arrow more than I use any melee weapon in this game, because I just love the feeling of fusing. Like, okay, now I have a fire arrow, now I have a homing arrow, now I have this, I have that. I have an arrow that'll turn enemies against each other. Like, it feels a little more. I loved Far Cry 3 back in the day, and my favorite thing to do was, like, the way I would take down outposts is by fucking with them to death, right? Where, like, oh, cool, there's a tiger in a cage. We're letting that fucker out. Oh, cool, I can confuse this guy. I'm gonna do that. Like, there's all these, like, fuckery type ways you can break down an outpost in that game. And this game gives you a lot of those kinds of tools. We're not seeing them here in the first 2 hours, so I can't really rate the game based on them for our rubric. But I want to, like, give that credit, because, like, that shit I love. I love all that shit.
Makes you feel like Green Arrow, makes you feel like Hawkeye. Like, that's the cool shit. That's why people like bows and arrows.
Yeah, absolutely. He talks about your arm the way fucking C-3PO talks about his red arm in fucking The Force Awakens.
Did you know I have a new arm?
You probably didn't recognize me because of my red arm.
Link, have you seen your cool new red arm?
Link.
Have you ever wondered where it's from? How queer.
How queer. Christ.
You gotta walk all the way up there, get to the fucking...
Yeah.
This is the second one you're supposed to hit, and you went to the third?
Whatever. It's a fucking open world game. They should act like it.
Uh-huh.
Well, and there were parts of the way here that were different because we had Ascent. Like, they are partially designing these for you can do it in any order, because, like, there was a huge shortcut I was able to take because I had Ascend.
True.
But then it does feel a little bit like, well, okay, like... Oh, I do like that the constructs are new and so other monsters fight them. I think that's fun.
Yep.
That's something you always like to see. Oh yeah, we need to go through the fucking mines. We need to learn about Zoanite.
Can you just end up the mines?
Yes, probably.
And you get to see the prolapsed like.
Oh, that's God. Okay. The new enemies, the like new classic Zelda enemies they brought back in, like the likes and those fucking frogs and shit. Great. the moblins that just live in caves. I forget what the horoblins. Those are cool. Like, that is one thing where people had the criticism that Breath of the Wild didn't have enough enemy variety, and they went ham adding a lot of stuff back into this. And I think they did a good job.
You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct.
Oh,
Okay. You gotta make a bridge. You gotta make a bridge.
Gap.
The only option.
A bridge will get me there. You're right. Okay. I was like thinking for a minute about whether it will.
It's time for the bridge time. That tree's not coming down. You know that.
Yeah, it's a big one. You're
You know
right.
that.
You're right. I do know that.
Like a tree that's gonna fall.
Oh, those fucked up trees that stand up and walk at you. That's another good enemy. I love those freaks. I want 4 of them. So, and that's the other thing is, I guess, is like as much as I complain about this place, I do get how a lot of it is like, well, okay, you got to get all the way from over here to over there. Figure it out, fucko. Like, they are trying to make sure you have opportunities to like craft on your own. Yeah, and that makes sense. Like I'm down for that. It just all takes a little longer than I wish it did.
Ooh, you're doing it that way.
Yeah, I'm doing a 2x2.
Is that gonna be enough?
We're gonna find out. I want to be able to actually walk up it a little more stable.
I'm a
more
motherfucker
trees.
who's like, here's an 8 log long.
You're making Looney Tunes sounds fucking immediately. Yeah. All right. Let's see what I can do with that. Zelda, Legend of Zelda. That's not gonna reach. But like in the listen, this is the trial and error. This is how we do it.
This is the game.
This is the video game, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom, not Breath of the Wild.
Tears of the Wild. Breath of the.
Just breathe. Just breathe. Bomb goes off in a hospital.
Hey, Jay.
That's a weird thing to say for people who don't know the context.
I haven't watched that episode of Grey's Anatomy.
Hey, yeah, y'all know Grey's Anatomy. Y'all fluidly have a coherent memory of Grey's Anatomy. We're so close.
Not gonna be long enough.
We're so close. Ah, you're so
You know what would have been long enough? Is 4 of them put butt to butt right off the gate.
Yeah. All right.
There you go. There you go, Sweaty.
All
there you go, Sweaty. There you go, Sweaty.
All right.
Those other 2?
Yeah. Oh, that's not an angle I intended. That might help stabilize it, actually, though.
Help.
Yeah.
That's gonna help. That's exactly what I was gonna suggest.
I'm gonna do one. I broke that whole part off. I'm gonna now do one more, but like going back to the other angle. Which, hey, this is part of engineering, right? Now we're cooking. Like real. Okay, yeah, the game's good. Like, you know, it's one of those things where like there are types of game where I don't need an in to remember that I actually do enjoy the things the game does. And then there are games where I do. Like, and this is kind of a type where I need to be, like, reminded that I am capable of enjoying this kind of... God, this thing takes so long just to rotate. It is so long. Like, I do a little bit need to be reminded that I actually do enjoy parts of this. But I do enjoy parts of the crafting. I don't dislike it. It just doesn't come easily to me. Oh, this is gonna suck so much. Alright, this is gonna suck so much if I fall off and die. God, okay, alright, it's immediately curvy. It's immediately fucked up.
You've got this. You've got this. Just take it nice and slow. Just take it nice and slow. It's interesting that you made a platforming course that you have to go across.
Yeah, that was a worse idea than I thought it was.
And you were so sure of it that I was like, okay, I'm gonna let them cook.
That was a bad idea. Go, 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 go. No! Okay, we're back. We're so back.
You got it.
Yep. Yeah, never punished. I am a master gamer. Everything is easy. Difficulty is a myth.
Jay, now that you've kind of conquered that and are on your way to the next thing you have to conquer before you get to the next thing that you have to conquer before you get to the outro.
Oh, boo. Go ahead. Give me your fucking scores, you bitch.
I think the music in this game is a little bit better than Breath of the Wild. It's the same music, but they've added something. They've added a saxophone sometimes,
have.
and that's really cool.
It's true.
Wait here. What are we doing? You have fans and a wing. Just fly.
You've seen I'm not good at that, but okay. I want to point out real quick, I also do like this giant cube guy is here.
Yeah.
That is a boss you can fight. There is a boss you can just fight here, and I think that's cool.
Yep.
Sorry, I wanted to point that out.
It's very cool. Music's a 2.
Really? Okay.
I think most of this is utterly forgettable, and if I did not listen to like the one musician I really like, this podcast, talk about why he loves this, I don't think I'd care. Table setting's a 5. Really good table setting. I love the beginning of this game. The walking through the tombs with Zelda is awesome. That's just straight up great.
Yep.
Link design is a 3. I think it's a pretty good Link. I have a lot of things that I prefer on other Links. I am a bit of a spoil sport, and I think that he should wear green. I am a bit of a spoil sport, and
Well,
like,
I will point out that once we get, like, we don't have his shirt yet. He does. Like, his actual starting outfit in this, once you've gotten through the intro cutscene, does have green.
yeah, but it's not like it does. It's not the green tunic.
That's
and
fine.
I don't
That's
know,
fine.
man.
That's fine.
Sometimes the guy on the game, I think, should have the outfit that I want him to be in.
That's
In
fine.
the same way that I believe Luke should be wearing his all black fit all the time. But
Okay, well, he only wears those in the 3rd of 3 movies. We can't get into this.
Zelda autonomy, frankly, at a 4 in this one. She has a
Sure.
whole external life from you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like
But
she's doing
also you are
something.
very much married, and it's great. I don't know what I'm
Okay.
doing with this.
I'm telling you, just fly, baby.
Yeah,
Bad
you're
guy
right.
introduction's a 4. It rules. Like, it's just really good.
Yeah, it kicks ass.
It is Ganon again, and like after he introduces himself, he's really kind of gone for the rest of the game.
Yep.
And that's like, okay. You certainly came and did something. It's a guy who comes in, ruins the party, and walks out. Just, kind of a vibe. Hello from your double shops. We are actually about to
Oh, fuck.
wrap.
I screwed
on
that
the
up.
app.
That's fine.
Vibes. I'm ranking my own vibes. You all
Yeah.
know this.
Yeah,
I'm
just
not,
say it.
like,
Just say it. We
2.
all know. Okay.
2.
You're
Bosses
allowed.
are a 1. We have not seen a single boss.
I just pointed one out to you, and if we had fought it, it would have been a cool fight. But that's...
That's true.
Do you like those cube guys? I like those cube guys a lot. I think they're
Those
cool.
2 guys are some of the most fun I have in the fights. Yeah. But like, there's not a lot of...
Okay.
They're the most memorable bosses, I think, in the game.
I'm not saying they're incredible bosses. I'm just pointing them out as bosses that exist. This is not going to get me what I want, but I think positioning over here is a good idea, so I'm just going to ride it over and go from there. This actually solves this little puzzle very easily.
Okay.
Badunk. Nice, nice, nice. I have a fucking driver's license. It's all fine.
Wake up in a bed is 0. Link as a clue is 1. Scene on Highlands is 1. Holy shit is a 1. Known characters are a 1. And unique baddies is 0.
Oh, all right. We're not getting down to the surface. I'm switching over to the chart so we can see all
You
this.
don't want to make it. It's right in front. You don't worry about it.
It's gonna take me a
worry.
pain in the ass long time to get over there. Is the thing? No. You're right. You're right. No. You're right. We gotta do it.
We can do this. We can do this. We have to check in. We have to do the Zelda check-in. We're so close to like
Yeah.
a world in which this game gets a better score.
You're right.
Hit it. Hit the boosters. Stand on the back to get some lift.
Not enough. Yes, enough. I don't know
Stay
how
further
far this is
back,
really
stay
gonna
further
take
back,
us.
Stay further back. Get it higher. Get it
Oh
higher.
man. Oh, we're about to run out of
Okay.
battery, Haas.
That's fine.
Okay,
that's
we'll
fine.
we'll
Step
land with
forward,
the boss
step
cubes, and
forward
he'll
now,
hang out
step
with
forward,
us.
Duck. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Toes.
Okay.
Nope. Not gonna run. Pick it up. Move it to the edge.
I'm doing it
Heard it?
as fast as I can, and it's gone. We have
gone.
more. It's fine. We have more. I'm gonna fight this guy real quick because I like him.
That's so fine. It's a high autonomy core for carrying a torch in what we've seen, but I feel you. I am doing a little bit unfairness, but like, if we're counting just by that, Zelda's the one who wanted to go in the cave. Zelda was talking to you about all the cool stuff. She's frankly had more autonomy than Link in this beginning bit because he's had more character development.
Zelda was hyperfixating with us. She was sharing her hyperfixation with us. What's more lovely than that?
Zelda did have a character and interesting notes in a way that she caused something to happen.
Mm-hmm.
In a way that Link's just kind of like, hi, my name's Steve, I'm here.
Thing. Got him. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I can go up. What am I doing? This is the kind of thing where like
do you not use the Ultra Hand and just pull the thing out?
I have literally never thought to do that. I didn't know you could do that. Shit.
Yeah, that's how I always fight these things.
No kidding.
And then rip that part out of them.
I had no idea you could do that. Also, I'm now realizing I didn't like. Oh, I have this. Okay, I could have like crafted better weapons.
Watching that durability go down bit by bit by bit. Yeah, switch to Ultra Hand now. Okay, and grab it.
Wow. Yeah, you can grab all of these. I never realized that. That's so cool.
And hit it again.
That's fucking awesome. This is a good boss fight. This is cool. Now he's up there, and we'll do it again. This is gonna be hard to reach, but we can do it. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it.
You can rip out that front part and then rip out the back.
Nah, I got it. It's right there. Fuck you. I'm chopping you like goddamn wood. Yeah, that shit's fun as hell. I like these guys.
So overall, I've given Tears of the Kingdom a... Is that really true? That's not fair. That's me being a fucking pissant about this.
Well, what's the number, and then let's talk through it.
I have given Tears of the Kingdom a total of 25 points.
Okay.
With Twilight Princess, which has it under Spirit Tracks, which has it above Four Sword Adventures.
We have not done Spirit Tracks.
Phantom Hourglass.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
It's tied with Phantom Hourglass and Link's Awakening for me.
Okay. So what do you fix? Because that like honestly, like I would expect it to be a little below Twilight Princess, but otherwise that's like, well, okay.
Well, I thought too, but then like looking at it, I'm like, well, I mean, the problem is it does get 5s on things like.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's the same thing we talk about whenever you stare like a war veteran at Cadence of Hyrule, and we go like, oh yeah, man, I wish this game was a little better. But also, it's above things that are like weird to think about. This isn't gonna work the way I want it to. Yeah, no, it's not gonna go. It doesn't have the like headway. I forget the best way off of this thing actually.
If you tip the nose a little forward on that thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. That'll work. I wish I had the fucking time power already, so I could just like freeze it in place there.
Well, you're going to where you're gonna get that.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't help me now.
You want to stand on the butt of it by the fans. That's what's going to get you a lift. But
not yet. But so like, so do you think like when you look at it, what do you feel like you would budge on? I guess like what score do you feel the least certain about?
I might be being unfair to the music, but no, I don't like the music. I can't name a song from this game. Mm-hmm. Like. All right. None of it does anything for me. Link design, no, I don't think I'm being a fucking spoil sport about it. I don't like the Link. I gave the original Link design a 2 in the other game. I just think his long hair is more interesting in this one.
Hold on, let me find. We're on Tears the item. Where is... There it is. Yeah, I mean, music is tough because I know a lot of people feel that way about the music. I'm going to go a little higher on it. Let me give you my numbers and we'll like see, like talk about it once we have both of ours. Maybe that'll help.
I'm down for that.
Cool. So,
because even though I'm a hater, I don't want to be a piece of shit about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Music's a 3 for me. I think like the main theme isn't the most memorable, but I like it. I really like the burn when you go down into the underground. Yeah. I think the sound design in this movie is really good. overall, it's ambience, and it's a lot of the same ambience that works well in Breath of the Wild. It's like a solid 3, like good to me. What'd you give table setting?
A
You
5.
gave table setting
I
a
thought
5.
it was fucking great.
Damn. Yeah, I think I also will, because like we said at the beginning, it's cool how like you are kind of dropped into the middle of, like, just because you know what happened in the last game doesn't mean you know everything. It super doesn't. Like it really doesn't. Link design, here's a hot take. 5 for me. I really like his weird caveman tunic with the, obviously we didn't get all of it, but like with the like bunch of little green triangles that make up a bunch of Triforces like on the one side of him. I like how asymmetrical it is. I think it's a really cool like caveman-y version of a Zelda look. I think he looks great with his hair down. I think the long hair is in general really good. The arm is fucking cool. I think this Link is like an A+ Link, an A+ different looking Link. Zelda autonomy 4 does feel high to me, and I don't know, like, because you're right, she has her own whole hobby and job. I don't know what, maybe it's the fact that like she has her own whole hobby and life. She has her own passions and life and things she's doing. She's guiding you at the beginning, but then immediately she vanishes, and where did she go becomes the problem of the game, which is fine.
Well, no, because like you know where she goes.
Yeah.
You and I, the player, when
Yeah.
we play this game and get to that like the literal next cutscene that we would see in this, if like
you get them
if the
transferring the
tutorial area
Master
was a little bit
Sword.
better.
Yeah, you get them transferring the Master Sword. You're right, it's a 4. Yeah. It's a 4 because she is
has
just,
shit
yeah.
to do in this game that she doesn't in other games, and that is implied in Ocarina of Time. Like, we can't give Ocarina of Time a better Zelda autonomy than this one, because she is doing something in this one, and we see it. You know what I mean? It's not, he's really cool over there.
Yeah, we are judging only on what we've played, though, to Neil's and Seraph's points.
True.
And I think
I truly think that we would see what we would have seen this if
we had gotten out of the tutorial area.
Frankly, if Jay, I say this with the most love in my heart, if you could fly, we would see it.
Yeah, man, fine.
No, that's not a bad thing. So that's why I'm saying I want to grade on it. I want to grade on that Zelda because I think that is true.
I'm not, because I'm a perfectly like I don't know. This tutorial area stopped us from getting there, and its layout stopped us from getting there in the allotted time of this thing.
True.
So it's a 3 from me.
You shouldn't have to rely on like your knowledge of another. I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't have to rely on fucking rocket science to get you somewhere.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. I find this place a pain in the ass to get around enough that it stops us from seeing the autonomy stuff. So for right now, Zelda autonomy is a 3 for me. Like,
You're so right.
She's clearly capable and competent in doing stuff, which gains a lot of points over where she is in a lot of these. But I think that's where we're at. Bad guy introduction is really sick. Is that a 4 or a 5? I don't know. I think it's a really good start, but it's a brief enough start that like we don't get quite enough. Like, it becomes a 5 later. I think like he has some good stuff in those cutscenes you get later, but for right now, for what we've seen, it's a 4.
Fair.
Vibes are a 4. I like the vibes of these games. I like what they're doing, what they're adding with the vibes of these games. I know I talked about like the Zonai art design isn't as strong to me as the Sheikah Tech art design. I think that is more a compliment to the Sheikah stuff than an insult to the Zonai stuff. That's how I feel about that. Bosses are a 4. I think that cube boss immediately makes you think, like, you and I, in the span of 2 minutes of me fighting that guy there, talked about, like, you told me a way that you were like, what do you mean you don't know this way to do it? That never occurred to me. And the tool set in this game is good enough that, like, it immediately gives you all those different ways to think about that. And I think that's very cool. So that's a 4 for me.
You're right. I'll increase the bosses to 2. You're absolutely right.
Which gives me a 28.
Okay, and then I've added on the back end where it's 0 for Wake Up in Bed, 1 for Hezekiah, 1 for Non-Hylians, 1 for Holy Shit, 1 for Known Characters, and 0 for Unique Baddie.
So that is for me a 34. And for you, well, I'll ask you again since you were unsure about some of them. How are you? Did that conversation make you think you want to change anything else? How are you feeling?
I'm at a 25 still, but things have gone up and down. we are at a 59 total, which ties it exactly with Breath of the Wild.
I'll give you. It can go under Breath of the Wild. You can put it under if it makes you feel better.
Crazy.
That's hilarious.
Crazy.
That's
and
wild.
It's a perfect tie.
Yeah, that's kind of awesome though. I kind of like that because like that weirdly does feel right to me.
And also, I will say, is it fair that we could say things we don't see in this game, so on and so forth? We've done that for other games. Like we've given other games a higher boss ranking because we've liked the bosses that we get in the future.
We have a little bit, but I think it's usually at least been, do we see it before? I would have to go back and check the fucking tapes, but like,
yeah,
I think we at the very least have had conversations in other episodes about like, well, a different player could have seen so and so thing in the first couple hours, and I do think, even though we held back some scores on that in this case, I do think, like, to your point, there are players who could have gotten in 2 hours through this and been down on the surface now. And like, but I think this opening area does kind of hold you back from that a little bit.
It does. I think you're right. Absolutely right.
So that puts Tears of the Kingdom below Breath of the Wild. We're putting it below, right above Triforce Heroes, above Twilight Princess. That's where I go. Yeah, all right. But
I know it's again.
Yeah.
Above Triforce Heroes? Are you kidding me? Above
Yeah.
Twilight Princess? Are you kidding me?
That. Yeah. This list gets funnier and funnier the more we do it, don't it? It's
utterly fucking fascinating, and I continue to enjoy doing this with you.
Yeah.
I feel like we had a lot of good conversations about this today, like specifically.
Absolutely. That's why I'm always like, do not feel bad when you have a negative, because like this in the Breath episode, like that's why I'm always like, don't fucking feel bad for your opinions. I want to talk to you about them, because like, it's you are in a minority about how you feel in these about these games. I'm a little bit more that way about this one than the other one. It's fun to parse it. It's fun to talk about it.
But it is important for me to always be aware of, like, am I being a hater? And if I'm being a hater, am I just yucking yums for no fucking reason? Like, am I like that me being critical about how I feel about it and like making sure that I'm constantly interrogating myself about it is, I think, important to me.
Yeah.
How I approach it.
No, for sure. I'm putting table setting down to a 4 because Raru's fucking normal guy voice genuinely takes bits of it out of me.
You are so right.
So we are down a point, and it is definitively there now.
Too, Jay.
Well, okay, don't do it unless you mean it. I feel like we did both genuinely agree about that point, though, so I won't rag on you for it.
And like, here's the thing: I don't put table setting. Here's what I will do. We have so often decided music is sound design as a whole.
Yeah.
We have talked about that. Voice acting brings us to a 1.
Oh, Jesus.
Voice acting brings us to a 1.
That voice acting keeps me at my 3, because there's parts of the music in this game where I would go up to a 4. I do, but not like I like I don't know. There's sound design here I like enough. I'm gonna stick with my 3, but I support you. I support you in what you're doing. And
with that, with our first late entry vote changes, Triforce Heroes now separates the wild game.
All right, buddy, you don't gotta fucking throw a party about it.
I know. I think that's interesting. I don't think there's a way that I can, in good conscience, bring this down to a 54 to have Twilight get under it.
No.
But also, I'm like, how the fuck is Twilight that low? That doesn't make sense.
I know. Yeah, that is one that I do look at, and I'm like, wow, were we too cruel to that game?
But we loved it.
I love that game. Yeah.
The thing, we did not see a single boss, and we did, and Zelda had no autonomy. Like, we did not see Zelda. We did not see the bosses. And
our rubric is flawed, as any rubric is, and we just have to live with that.
You're so right. Right.
That's why we will one day end Historia Homies by just doing both of our like full tier maker Zelda rankings and just actually talking about them, because we need to get this shit out once and for all, and we have to play every Zelda game in order to be allowed.
Absolutely. People say like, well, you haven't played this, and it's like, well, I played a little bit of it.
Yeah, exactly. I played the shit out of 2 hours of Zelda 2, and my friend Riley watched the shit out of me doing it.
I saw you do it, and that is above Four Swords Adventures and The Legend of Zelda.
I stand by it. I had more fun with that than with either of those. I genuinely didn't have a bad time with that one.
I think if you take a five game chunk of this list at any given point, it looks right enough.
Yeah, for sure. I think like 1, 2, 3. Our top 5, 6. Our top 6 all feels really good. Our next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 after that is really good. Then Cadence of Hyrule is like the wall, and after the wall, it all just goes to shit. Where it's like we both are like, should Link's Awakening really be there? We're both like, are we awful people for putting the original Zelda that low? We're not. We've evolved. There's been 25. Seraph and Sylvie, I agree with you that we should get Link's Crossbow Training on there. I just don't know if we can make it work with our modded Wiis.
I'll tell you, Jay, we can, because you can Bluetooth a Wiimote, and I have a Wiimote sitting behind me.
Well, why have we not had that on this wheel this whole fucking time?
Put it on the goddamn.
Link. I'm pretty sure I suggested it once and you said no, but I'm glad we've come this far. So that puts us now. I was talking to Riley about this. The wheel is on screen. We have now 10 games remaining. This is the set. We are currently streaming the 17th Historia Homies. We are past the cusp. We are over the hill.
Yeah.
And I just want to put that marker down there because Riley, we've come a long fucking way doing this. We've done a lot of this.
We really have. I'm so glad we're doing it. It is deeply fun.
It's awesome. Are you ready to find out? Just as a reminder, both Warriors games and all 3 CDI games are still on this wheel.
We are like cruising for a very real bruising.
Yeah, and also in a few weeks we will be adding another game when Echoes of Wisdom comes out, which I think we haven't talked about this, but like we will not just like play it that week. It gets added to the fucking wheel. It has to get chosen by the same rubric as all of these. Other than Majora's Mask. But, you know, other than the first episode, we have chosen all of these this way, and I am not letting the CDI games get pushed back and back and back by anything else than Divine Providence, which has saved us from them so far, and that will be what eventually turns on us and makes us play all 3 in a row. Riley, would you like to find out what you're playing next week?
Hey, Jay, for me, can you spin that wheel?
I can spin that wheel! Oh, Riley Hopkins, we're coming to your home. Riley, it is as Minish Cap was for me, so the high seas shall be for you. The winds are blowing. Do you see that? Do you smell that?
No.
Do you smell that in the wind? Oh, baby! We are wind freaking waking over here.
Hey, Google, play We Are, the One Piece theme.
This has been so kind to us, where really you got Ocarina and Wind Waker, and I got like Minish Cap and Twilight Princess. Like, we have had moments of incredible kindness by the wheel on this series.
It's been beautiful. It has been art. It has been fantastic, and we continue to be safe. But Jay, I don't know how well that's coming over.
It kind of is. I've also still got my game audio playing. Hold on, let me...
It's time to hit the fucking beautiful sea, my friends.
Yeah, it is. As I in-game continue to stand on that fucking plateau, I'm just fucking hanging out. I'm never leaving. The Switch is going into sleep mode. I'll be honest, fam, it's not coming through well at all, but I feel your energy.
Yep. Don't worry. See you at the Grand Line, my beautiful friends. I cannot wait.
It's time to close the book on Tears of the Kingdom. We will see you next Friday or a Friday soon for the Wind Waker. It is so fucking funny that all 3 CDI games are still on here. Now, hold on. Let's before we end, I want to just take a tally. So with Wind Waker off, we will be done with console Zeldas. Done. We will have 4 Swords, and Oracle of Seasons and Spirit Tracks, which are 3 handhelds. We will have Hyrule Warriors and Age of Calamity, the 2 Warriors games. We will have Link's Crossbow Training, a console one, so excuse me, I was wrong. And then the 3 CDI games. We are going to play a beautiful game that you and I both love next time, and then we are going to just enter we are gonna be grasping at Oracle of Seasons and even Spirit Tracks so desperately, and the Warriors games, because we are gonna be in such a nexus of weird shit. It's gonna be amazing. I'm excited.
I'm very excited for the Warriors games because I like Warriors games, and those do, I think, a good thing of just like, hey, you remember this fucking guy?
And I've never played them. I've never played either of them, so I'm super excited.
I think in the same way that we played some of our other multiplayer games, we could play multiplayer Warriors.
Oh, no, we totally could. Yeah. We'll figure that out another day, though. For now, it is time to close the book on Tears of the Kingdom. Riley, my homie, good night.
Jay, my homie, good night. Chat, my homies, good night. No, I can hear Jeff. I can hear Jeff on the stream.
Yeah, now we actually
I'll spill myself.
We have a minute left, and I already took melatonin. It'd be really funny if someone took 6,000, so I have to power. You look at a gym and you piss your pants and fade.